this is your Mad Yogi Eileen, bringing you the last and final installment of our Constellation Series, which is the Pisces Flow. Now, before we get into the flow proper, I do want to highly recommend that you go and do the Pisces stand-up flow first, because that is the first flow. That salutation is the first flow in this one. Because while we are still going to go through, our normal and regular cues of stop if this is enough, or do this, and stop if this is enough, and do this, as we do in our Mad Yogi classes. For this one, we are going to skip the slower and more awkward, explanations and detailed explanations, rather, of the poses and why we do them, yeah? So, while it is still a slow flow, we are going to jump right straight into cue-centric flow and not the workshop-y flow. That's what I was trying to say. And in line with that, let's come to the top of your mat. By the way, you might want to secure for yourself your blocks or your block alternatives and your strap or your strap alternative, because we do have some poses where you might want to use them or you might not. Yeah? Again, as per our usual. From here, bring the backs of the hands in, wave yourself up into our upward facing hands, lengthening up here. Push the hips forward, shallow or deeper back bend. Up to you. Squeeze the front line of your body to lift. Hands on your elbows, frame your head, left forearm in front and squeeze your upper back. Soften your knees, open belly twist, full body spinal twist to the left side. Hips, navel, sternum, nose. Allow the body to move and adjust in your twist. Release back to center. Release your arms, upward facing hands. Push the hips forward, shallow or deeper back bend. Squeeze to lift. Hands on your elbows once again. Right forearm in front. Open belly, spinal twist to the right side. Deep, full breath. Release back to center. Release your arms. Third, shallow or deep back bend. I'm opting for a shallow one. Squeeze the front line of your body to lift. Frame your head once again. Doesn't matter which one in front this time. Bend your knees. Hips go to the back so you can bring your belly on your thighs. Your face will be orientated to look down towards the mat. I want you to squeeze the upper back so you can lift your frame, the head up. I know that's hard. That's strong for the shoulders. Release your arms and come into your forward fold. Let your head go. This is our counter pose, especially for the lower back. Strengthening the whole line of the back. Wave yourself up halfway. Pushing through your arms and through your fingers, yeah? Don't crunch and don't stress your back muscles. Exhale. Forward fold. Step or hop back. Plank. All the way down. You are welcome to come down to your knees first. Flat plank. Hands up. Lower cobra. Hands down and pushing yourself up. Higher cobra. Or upward facing dog. There's an or there, yeah? Come back down to high cobra if you went to up dog. Bend your knees and look up. Open up the front of the body. There's a lot of front body opening in this flow. Exhale, release. Lift up. Plank. Knees bend, push back. Don't rush that. Puppy pose. Spinal wave. Spinal waves here. First set of our flow. So take your time. And downward facing dog. And a few more spinal waves. We will pare back the amount of spinal waves later, but for now, I want us to limber up the spine, open up the big joints, lengthen up the back muscles and the leg muscles. From here, wave yourself forward in our full plank. Starting with the right, curl your right leg up, thigh to belly, plantar flex ankles, flick the toes. Knee points back and up, extend in a three-legged plank. Bring that leg out to the left side. Cross-legged plank, but a more open version. Stay if this is enough, or spin yourself open and up into the wild thing. Breathing. Release the pose. Keep your left foot where it is, don't move it to the center, and hug your right leg around the left in a full three-legged, cross-legged plank. Baby chaturanga, small bend of the elbows, and push up. Right leg walks forward in a medium height lunge. Heels of the hands lift, push through your upper back, through your arms, through your fingers, and push yourself back into an intense side stretch. Parshvottanasana. Release the pose, rock yourself forward, bend your front knee, back heel up, knee down. Walk your front foot a little bit forward, yeah? Backs of the hands in, wave yourself up in a low crescent lunge. Walking that foot forward allows that length in this curve of the body. Stay or add a back bend by pushing the hips forward. Squeeze the front line of your body if you went there. Close belly twist to the right side. Navel, sternum, nose. Left hand, right knee. Right arm reaches to the back first. Spins and hugs around your back waist. Deep, full breath. Left hand releases down in the mat. In line with your front foot. Turn towards the eastward, east side, right side of your mat. Right arm extends to come parallel with your back leg. Right knee can drop to the right side and you're coming on the blade of your foot. Stay if this is enough, or bend your back knee and come into a tessellation bind. Stay in this angle you're in, or spin a little bit more looking towards the south of your mat, coming into a deeper twist. Now release the pose, coming back to center. Adjust your legs here. Sit down on your left leg, on your left side. Spin towards the south of your mat. Allow your legs to bind in our Matsyendrasana. Yeah, this pose. Hug your right knee close to you, lengthen up the body. Left ankle is dorsal flexed, toes still flicked towards you. Options for your arms. Keep your hands pressing your knee close to you and come into a closed belly twist. Or you can release your back hand towards the back, not leaning on it, just pushing ourselves up. Can't emphasize that enough. Not leaning on your arm is pushing and propping you up. Release the pose. Right knee still bent, but release it from that crossed position on top of your left. Adjust yourself on the mat. Rock onto your right hip so that your left leg can spin to the back. Sweep it to the back and unfurl the body in a pigeon pose. High on your claw hands, wave the spine up into a proud pigeon, nice and long. Again, a lot of front body opening in this flow, a lot of back body contraction. But we balance it with a counter pose. From your proud pigeon, come into a humble pigeon. Extend your arms forward, elbows lifted up, not collapsing down. Coming into a humble pigeon. Relaxed for the rest of the body, but this bent leg is still getting a lot of lengthening in its side. And that hip articulation as well, of course. Walk your hands closer to you, wave yourself up. Now, we're going to rock our body weight to the right leg, to the right hip, and spin back to the north of your mat, this top of your mat. Adjust yourself, allow yourself to adjust and open your toes into a Janusirsasana. Tiny bit of a twist so that you can align your median to the top of the mat and lengthening up here. There are several depths that you can choose with your Janusirsasana. Stay high, squeeze the back, angle your spine without collapsing the back, a little lower, mid depth, or a lot lower, but you're still contracting the back muscles. Because I want you to feel the difference between this and when you relax the body. Now everyone relax. If your hand can reach your foot, you're welcome to hold on to your foot or even to bind if you want to. Breathe in here. Release a pose, bend your left knee and come into a Siddhasana. We have a workshop on this, yeah? So Siddhasana, claw hands in front, lengthening up the spine first, spinal wave, and then in that downward wave, bring yourself into a half extended child's pose and a half Siddhasana pose, a combination of both. Bring your hips up, release your shins to the back, and come into a restorative wide-kneed extended child's pose, yeah? So bend your elbows, forearms down, bring your forehead down on the mat. Your hands are just in line with the crown of your head. And breathe here. You are pressing your elbows down so your chest, you can manage the depth of your chest in this cavity. Breathing. Wave yourself up. Position your hands a la plank or a la forward fold once again. Lift and walk up. Back into your forward fold. Knees bend, backs of the hands in. Wave yourself up. Upward facing hands. Shallow or deep back bend, pairing the cues a lot more. Upward facing hands. Frame the head. Twist, full body spinal twist to the right. Release back to center. Upward facing hands. Shallow or deep back bend. Squeeze up. Frame your head. Swap over which forearm is in front. Full spinal body twist to the left. Breathing. Release back to center. Upward facing hands. Back bend. Shallow or deep. Upward facing hands. Frame the head. Hips push to the back. Belly on your thigh. Spine neutral first. And then squeeze your upper back to lift the head and the arms. A bit of weight training here. Release forward fold, half lift, forward fold, step or hop, back, plank, flat plank, shallow cobra, higher cobra, or upward facing dog. Back down to high cobra and bend the knees. Release the pose, back to plank. Puppy pose, spinal wave, downward facing dog, and spinal wave. From here, wave forward to plank. Left leg curls under the body, knee points back and up, three-legged plank. Cross it over to the right side and stay, or spin yourself open. Wild thing. Release back down. In a full cross-legged, three-legged plank, small chaturanga, baby chaturanga, and lift. Left leg releases forward in a mid-height lunge first, and push yourself to the back. Intense side stretch. Don't overly think about how tight your hamstrings and calves are. Just allow your back and your arms to do the work. Release the pose, coming back to your low lunge, walking that front foot a little forward, back to the hands in, low crescent lunge. With or without a back bend, up to you. Release the pose if you went into a back bend. Close belly twist to the left side. Right hand on your knee, left arm is allowed that chance to lengthen out first and wrap around your back waist. Neutral with the neck, wherever your neck feels comfortable. But if you want to, you can also look a little bit to the south of your mat, to the back. Right hand releases down on the mat in line with your front foot. Left arm releases to come parallel to the back leg. And stay if this is enough. Or bend your back knee and come into a tessellation bind. This is quite strong for that back knee. So pad your knee if you need to. Stay here in this more neutral twist, or twist a little deeper and look towards the back. Breathing. Release the pose. After you've released the pose, sit down on your right hip and allow this front leg to adjust to the back, yeah? And adjust yourself, spinning to the south of your mat, to the back, and coming into Matsyendrasana. From here, close belly twist to the left side. Lord of the Fish pose. From here, coming back to center. Release the crossing of your legs, but keeping the left knee bent. And then body weight to the left side, so you can sweep your right leg to the back. Lift yourself up into a high pigeon pose. Deep full breath. Exhale, coming into your humble pigeon. Don't collapse the arms. Keep your elbows lifted up, high on your claw hands. It's a nice abdominal massage. This one. Wave yourself up. Sit down on your left hip and spin to the north of your mat, coming back into our Head to knee pose, Jana Shirshasana. One of our most beloved poses, lengthening the body up and showing you the higher option. And exhale, just relax the body. So if you're in an upright position, you can come from that engaged back, lengthened up spine to a more relaxed one. You can even bow your head. So this is the high option for this pose. From here, release a pose, bend your right knee, Siddhasana. Siddhasana with extended child's pose. Breathing. Release a pose. Open knee, extended child's pose, the restorative version. Forehead down, elbows bent, elbows and forearms supporting the upper body weight. Hands pressing into the crown of your head. It's just really positioned there, right? There's no real must press into the crown of your head. No such thing. Release the pose. Hands back into forward fold position. Lift yourself up and walk up. Forward fold. Let your head go. Last round, one more per side. Backs of the hands in. Wave yourself up. Nice and smooth. Shallow or deep back bend. Squeeze up. Frame your head. Twist to the left side. Full body spinal twist to the left. Back to center. Release your arms. Shallow or deep back bend. Lift up, upward facing hands. Frame your head, swap over your forearms. Twist to the right side. Full body spinal twist. Release. Upward facing hands. Back bend. Squeeze up. Frame your head. Belly on your thigh. Low chair with a framed head. And lift the head and arms up. Keeping your head framed. Release your hands down on the mat. Forward fold. Half lift. Forward fold. Step or hop back. Plank. Flat plank. Low cobra. Higher cobra. Or upward facing dog. Coming back down to high cobra, bend the knees. Release, lifting up to plank. Puppy pose, bend the knees. Spiral wave. Downward facing dog. Spiral wave. Wave forward plank. Right leg curls under the body. Three-legged plank. Cross it over to the left side. Stay or spin. Lots of spinning in this flow. Release. A more tightly bound three-legged cross-legged plank. Bend the elbows. Lift. Leg releases forward and come into your low crescent lunge. Making sure you counter pose your wrists by pressing them in when you lift your arms up. Close belly twist to the right side. Right arm binds behind the back waist. Left hand down on the mat. In a tessellation prep, back arm reaches to the back. stay or full tessellation bind, stay or deeper twist in your tessellation bind. Release the pose. Sit down on your left hip. Allow your right leg to adjust and come into this pose, Lord of the Fishes pose. Close belly twist to the right side. However you want your right arm to function in this pose, up to you. Up to you now. Release the pose. Release the crossing of your ankle on top of your left leg, left thigh. Left leg sweeps to the back. Adjust your weight and come into a proud pigeon. Humble pigeon. Breathing. Lift up. Body weight to the right hip. And turn back to the top of your mat, north of the mat. Adjust yourself. Janu Sirsasana, high, mid-height, or hand on your foot, or use a strap. Breathe here and exhale the more relaxed version. Don't go straight into the relaxed version, huh? Wave yourself up. Siddhasana legs. Adjust yourself on the mat. And extended child's pose, upper body. Release the pose. In a wide-kneed, restorative, extended child's pose. Breathing. Release the pose and come back to your forward fold. Let the head go. Backs of the hands in. Wave yourself up. Upward facing hands. Last one. Shallow or deep back bend. Upward facing hands. Frame the head. Twisting to the right. Full body spinal twist. Release. Upward facing hands. Shallow or deep back bend. Release up. Frame the head. Full body spinal twist to the left. Coming back to center. Release the arms. Last one of this. Shallow or deep back bend. Lifting back up. Frame the head. Belly on your thighs. Neutral with the spine first. Once your belly is down, lift your framed head up. Strong for the shoulders. Release your hands. Lengthen your legs. Forward fold. Lift up halfway. Exhale. Uttanasana, forward fold. Step or hop back. Plank. Flat plank. Low cobra. High cobra. Upward facing dog. Back down to high cobra. And bend the knees. Squeeze the feet in. Exhale, release the pose. Lift up. Full plank. Puppy pose. Spinal wave. Downward facing dog. And spinal wave. Wave forward. Plank. Left leg curls up, backing up, three-legged plank. Cross it over to the right side, stay or spin. Release the pose. A more tightly bound, cross-legged, three-legged plank, baby chaturanga. Lift, step it through, and come into your intense side stretch. Breathing. Last one of this. Release the pose. Back knee down. Adjust your front foot forward. Low crescent lunge. With or without your back bend. If you have a back bend, release now. Close belly twist to the left side. Deep full breath. Right hand releases down on the mat. Left arm releases parallel to the front leg, to the back leg rather, and come into your tessellation prep, or come into your full tessellation bind, or deepen that twist. Up to you. Release the pose. Good. Sit on your right leg, on your right hip. Allow your left leg to adjust and come into Lord of the Fishes pose. Twist, close belly twist to the left side. Release the pose. Release the crossing of your legs, but keep your left knee bent. Body weight to the left, so your right leg can sweep to the back. And come into your proud pigeon. Give yourself the time to do those micro adjustments, yeah? Never rush into your poses. Humble pigeon. Deep full breath. Release. Sit on your left hip and turn back to the top of your mat, the north of your mat, and come into Janusirsasana legs. However deep you want your pose to be, lengthen up the spine. As if you're being pulled by your head to lengthen up. Squeeze your upper back. Your arms can support you extended forward or just closer to you. As long as you're lengthening your spine, you're squeezing your back muscles. And then release. Soften. I've been showing you the different depths you can choose with this Janusirsasana. Wave yourself back up. Siddhasana. And extended child's pose, upper body. Release the pose. Wide kneed, restorative, extended child's pose. From here, lift yourself up. Bring your knees together. Tuck your toes under and come into this kind of crouching position with your heels lifted up, yeah? Heels lifted up. Walk your hands to the left side in a side crow prep. Your right arm is pressing into the outside of your left leg. Knees are close together and come into this twist, side crow prep twist. From here, release back to center. Lift yourself up slightly. Right heel
is down on the mat, so your whole right foot is down. Your left heel is still lifted, and hold on to that foot with your left hand. Right hand comes on your right hip. Now don't think about your left side, just concentrate. I'll do it obliquely. Just concentrate on your right leg and push yourself up, squeezing up your left leg. You're more than welcome to hold on to your windowsill or a stool or a chair that's stable, yeah? And extend your left leg forward. You can stop with your knee bent this way, or you can also fully extend, plantar flex the ankle, and flick the toes. Deep full breath. Now bend that knee, switch it over to the back, lengthen up. Your right hand can still be on your hip if you want, or you can also lift it up in a full dancer's pose and press that foot up into your hand. You're not really just lifting it with your arm, yeah? You're squeezing that circle of muscles behind you. Now, once again, very welcome to use your windowsill, your stool, or your block, and bring your hand, right hand down on the mat, soften your standing knee, and catch yourself, and come into a very low dancer's pose. From here, release a foot behind, so I'm just adjusting myself. Cross your legs, so your lifted leg is now behind. Hands as wide or as narrow as you want to maintain your balance. Adjust your feet, toes approximately pointing towards each other, heels approximately pointing out, yeah? They don't have to be in a straight line. Heels up, knees bend out to the sides. Adjust yourself as you need to. Lift up and heels down. Your front leg, front foot will need to be a little bit more forward than the back. Heels up, bend. Lengthen, heels down. One more pump, heels up, bend, lift up and down. And release your feet, coming back into your forward fold. Heels up, knees bend, and we're back here in this crouching position. Walk your hands to the right side. Elbow pressing into the knee to encourage that twist. It's quite strong. It doesn't look like it, but it's quite a strong twist. From here, release back to center. Lift yourself up. Left heel down on the mat. Right heel lifts up. Hold on to your right foot. Left hand, left hip. And again, don't think about your right side, the one that's going to lift. Think about the left side, the one that's going to push, and push yourself up. Good. From here, extend your front leg. I'll do it a little obliquely. That knee can be bent. It can be even just like this. You're welcome to use a stool or your windowsill, or fully extend that lifted leg. Lengthening up here. Don't collapse. Lengthen up. From here, bend your lifted knee. Bring that leg to the back. Lift up your left arm, or it can also remain on your hip, yeah? Lengthening up, and then come into that tilt of the dancer's pose. I want you to really feel your foot and leg pushing into your hand, yeah? That initiates the activation of your muscles. From here, tilt a lot more, soften your standing knee and reach down. You're welcome, I can't say this enough, you're welcome to use your block alternative, or your stool to support this pose. Release. Cross your legs, right leg towards the back this time. Adjust the angle of your feet. Hands a little wider to support your body weight. Heels up and exhale. Bend the knees out to the sides. Lengthen up and heels down. 2 more pumps. Lift and bend. Lift and heels down. Last one. Lift, bend, lift up, heels down. Release the feet. Come into a forward fold with your feet a little closer together. Just 1 more per side. Heels up and crouch. Hands walk to the left, elbow pressing into the knee. Side crow prep. It's quite a strong twist. Release back to center. Lift your body up slightly. Right heel down. Left hand, left foot. Right hand, right hip. Pushing through your right side. Lift yourself up. Extend that leg. Choose the angle, yeah? Full extension or bent knee. Release the pose. Come into your dancer's pose. I will show you with me holding on to the windowsill. And deepen that dancer's pose. Push your foot into your hand. And come into that deepest version with your right hand in a claw shape or supported down on the mat. Release the foot behind. I'll just adjust myself to show you the movement. Cross your legs, cross your feet. In this position, check it out. Heels up, 3 pumps. Bend. Coming as deep as you can. Yeah? As deep as you can. Lift up, heels down. Or remain shallow. Heels up, bend. If you want to stay here, this is good too. Lift up, heels down. Last one. Up, bend. Choose your depth. Lift, heels down. Release the crossing of your legs. Softer forward fold. Heels up, knees bend, crouch. Walk your hands to the right side. If you've been mirroring me, by the way, that's fine too, yeah? Deep full breath. Strong twist. Strong abdominal compression. How are we doing? Release back to center. Good. Lift yourself up. Left heel down. Right hand, right foot. Left hand, left hip. And lift yourself up. And I will show you with my left hand supporting me on the windowsill. Extend. Choose your angles. Release. Dancer's pose. Test out the deep angles here to prep ourselves for the deepest version of the pose. And release your left hand down on the mat in a claw shape or flat if you're feeling confident to go that deep. Release, cross your feet, right leg behind, heels up, and bend. Just 2 more of this. Lift, heels down. Up, bend, up, and down. Last, up, bend, lift up, and come back down. Release the crossing of your legs. Come into your forward fold. From your forward fold, come down on the mat, all the way down. And I will do it facing back to the top of my mat. Open your legs and come into a cobbler's pose, yeah? Hold on to your feet, don't interlace your fingers, just hold on to your feet and lengthen the body up, belly in and up, chest up, head up. The reason we're not interlacing our fingers here is because we want to hold on to our feet when we lift, yeah? So lengthening up here. Now from this full cobbler's pose, coming to a floating cobbler. Lift your heels up, lift your feet up, adjust your hands to the blades of your feet and lengthening up here. Deep, full breath. From here, we're going to extend our legs forward and bring them together. Plantar flex the ankles and flick the toes. From here, the legs together, we're going to open the legs out to the sides in a big letter V. Adjust your grip on your feet, yeah? You want a good steady grip on your feet. From here, bend your right leg and you're coming into, I'll do it a little obliquely. Bend your right leg, coming to a floating Janusirsasana. From here, opening up your right knee once again and bend your left. Deep, full breath. Open up your left once again and we're back into this floating Upavishta Konasana, floating wide-legged pose. And back in. Let's call this a floating staff pose. From here, bend your knees once again out to the sides, back into a floating cobbler's pose, and land. Yeah? Good. From here, bring your left hand behind and lean towards the back. Don't collapse your shoulder and your arm, just bring it towards the back. Bring your knees in and walk your feet apart. Yeah? From here, stay and just hold on to your left knee and come into a twist. If this is enough, yeah? My right elbow is pressing into my right knee. My right hand is holding on to my left knee, and that determines the distance of my knees. And come into a twist. And if this is enough, stay. But if you are feeling like it, push yourself up and over. Breathing. Release. Back down on the mat. Extend your left leg. Right leg comes over. Yeah, we did this pose earlier. But from here, left hand points towards the left side of the mat, the west edge of the mat. Right foot, the crossed one, also points to the edge, the long edge of the mat. Adjust your seated pose, yeah? Hold on to your left foot. So right hand holds on to the left foot. Body weight tilts a little bit towards that edge. Adjust your hand as you need to. And stay here if this is enough. Or if you're feeling like it. Again, don't think about your left leg and your right arm. Think about your other limbs. You only have 4. Yeah? 2 legs, 2 feet. You only have 4. With your body weight tilted a little bit towards the edge of the mat, push yourself up. This way. And land back down. You might need a few tries, okay? You might need a few tries. I certainly did. From here, release your feet back into cobbler's pose. And you'll get to see how that looks later when my back is turned to you. Hold on to the blades of your feet. Allow your back to soften here. It won't necessarily soften and curve to hold on to your feet. Now, let's wave the body up. Belly in and up. Chest up. Head up. Full cobbler's pose first. And come to a floating cobbler. Deep full breath. Into a floating staff pose. Floating Upavishta Konasana, floating wide-legged pose. Bend your left knee. That floating open Janusirsasana. Opening back up. The other left. Right leg, right knee bends, floating, open Janusirsasana. Coming back to that open, wide-legged pose. Floating staff pose. Coming back down to your floating Baddha Konasana, cobbler's pose. And land down on the mat. I'll just quickly adjust myself. Right hand behind, left hand. You can hold on to your right knee and twist. Soften the pose. Release your feet and step them down. Left elbow pressing into the left knee. Hand on your other knee, on your right knee, and twist. And stay in this twist if this is enough. Stay here if this is enough, or you can also push yourself up and come into this pose once again. Deep full breath and release back down on the mat. Extend your right leg forward, left leg crosses. And again, sit on your right hip already, yeah? Right hand and left foot are pointing towards the long edge of your mat. Your left hand is holding on to your right foot, the blade of the right foot. And stay here if this is enough, yeah? Or if you want that lift, body weight tilts a little bit forward and push yourself up. And coming back down on the mat, release back to your cobbler's pose, the full cobbler's pose. So you can relax your back, relax your body a little bit. Just one more set each, but I think I'll insert in a boat pose, yeah? Shall we? Wave yourself up. Full cobbler's pose. Come with me. Floating cobbler. Floating staff pose, Paschimottanasana. Floating Upavishta Konasana. Breathing, don't rush. Left leg bends. Floating Janusirsasana on the left. Open it back up. Right knee bends. Yeah? Easy, yeah? Easy. Back to floating Upavishta Konasana. Close the legs, floating Paschimottanasana. Give yourself that chance to adjust as you need to. Bend the knees. Momentarily back into this floating Baddha Konasana. And then release the body into a boat pose. The arms can be any variation you want. I like the ones forward. Bend, gather it back in, legs are up, and then land. From here, bring your right hand, left knee, left hand behind, in a Baddha Konasana twist. Breathing. Left hand comes flat, knees come together until they are in the distance of your forearm, yeah? And walk your feet apart and twist a little bit more. Stay if this is enough, or once again, lift. Deep, full breath. Release the pose. Extend your left leg. Cross your right. Right hand, left foot. And lean a little bit towards the edge of your mat. Stay if this is enough. You don't have to lift, but if you want to, push through your bent legs, bent arm, your front limbs, and lift yourself up. And land back down on the mat and release back into your cobbler's pose. Soften the body first and then wave yourself up. Deep, full breath. Floating cobbler's pose. Floating staff pose, extending the legs forward, legs together. Open up the legs. Floating Upavishta Konasana. Right knee bends. Extends. Left knee bends. Extends. Open legs. Closed legs. Bend the knees. Floating cobbler's pose. See if you can bring your feet a little higher. From here, soften the body so you don't fling yourself. Come into your boat pose. Bring it back in and land. Left hand, right knee, right hand behind. Cobbler's pose twist. Right hand flat. Close your knees until that elbow and that knee connects and walk your feet apart. And come into this twist. This seated twist. And stay if this is enough. Or push yourself up. Coming into a narrower foundation. Wild thing. Exhale. Release down. Right leg extends. Left foot crosses over. Right hand, left foot points to the edge of your mat. Left hand holds on to the blade. And tilt your body weight a little forward. And stay if this is enough. Or, once again, lift yourself up. Float. And land. It doesn't have to be very high, that one. Yeah? Not very high. And adjust yourself on the mat. See if you have space behind. Whew, yay. That was the end of the flows. Coming into a seated child's pose first. And then roll yourself down. Lying down on the mat. And do your sacroiliac joint massage. We've earned it. Deep, full breath. Still. From here, bring your feet to the edges of your mat. Arms already in your Shavasana. And do soft window wipes without walking the feet. Just keep them where they are and just do soft window wipes. Good. Now, because this is the Pisces flow, I do want us to do the fish pose. We don't normally do it, this pose. It's considered a back bend, but I think there are other back bends and front openings that are much better. But in the spirit of the fish pose, or rather Pisces, let's do the fish pose. Extend your legs to the mat, plantar flex your ankles, but flick the toes, yeah? Bring your arms really close to the body. Actually, bend your knees once again. Walk your feet closer. Lift your hips up. A la shallow bridge, yeah? A la shallow bridge. And bring your arms and hands under the body, palms down. It's a very clunky pose, I feel. That's why I don't do it a lot. And then land your gluteals, your buttocks, on top of your wrists. And lift your chest up a little bit first, just a little bit first. And try to walk your elbows as close to the middle as you can. And then re-extend your legs. Again, like I said, it's an awkward pose. That's why we don't do it a lot. From here, stay here if this is enough. If you're asking yourself what the benefits are, well, again, there are better back bends, there are better front openings. So let's say that it teaches us, once again, patience, yeah? Or stay here, or puff up your chest up and land on the top of your head. Breathing. Deep, full breath. There are variations here where the legs are lifted. I don't recommend it. And exhale. Release down on the mat. Bend your knees once again. Release your hands from under your body. And let's do a better back bend and front opening, yeah? If you like that fish pose, you're welcome to do it again. But I think bridge is better. From here, tilt your hips, pubis pointing up, and up is always towards the face, yeah? Palms facing down once again. Feet closer to you until you can hold on or scratch your Achilles, yeah? From here, walk your shoulder blades closer under the body, so your chest is already puffed up. Stay here if this is enough. By the way, I do not recommend that you turn your head once you lift up. So if you need to watch this first, watch it first, okay? Do not turn your head once your hips lift up. So I won't be able to look at the camera either. From here, with your pubis pointing up towards the face, your scapula gathered under your body, push through your legs and through your arms and lift the body up. You can continue walking your scapula under your body. You can leave your hands pressing down, or you can interlace them under the body. Or you can also use them as scaffolds and bring them under your hips. Again, please do not turn your head. I cannot look at the camera. Keep looking up towards the ceiling because your neck is in a strong contracted, front contracted position here. The back of your head is strongly pressing down into the mat. So your upper body, your cervical spine and cranium are strongly anchored down on the mat. Don't turn your head. Breathing. Yes, I am talking to keep you in the pose. And release. And do that slowly. Release your scapula from under your body. And then one at a time, hug your knees close to you once again. And do a sacroiliac massage. How did we go with that? Yeah? I think it's a better back bend, stronger, and less awkward especially in the arms, because the fish pose has that really awkward position for the arms, and well, my elbows don't like it very much. That's why I don't use it very much. But if you're okay with the pose and you want to play with it, go ahead. One more, a bit long hold bridge pose. Position your feet, yeah. Gather your scapula under your body, tilt your hips, lift your hips up. Keep it shallow, just a small lift of the hips. You're pressing down through the length of your legs and your arms from your shoulders. Or a little bit higher in your hips, and your hands are interlaced under the body. Or that highest setting with your hands under your hips, you're pushing strongly still through your legs, quite a strong contraction in the gluteal muscles. And breathe. Strong breath. I think the Ujjayi breath naturally occurs in this pose because there's a strong compression in the front of the neck. And release the pose, roll the spine. Please never just drop down. Roll the spine down on the mat. Be gentle with your arms as well and your elbows. Once your hips are fully down, your neck can move, and bring your knees close to the body. Sacroiliac joint massage. Deep full breath. Now, if you are wanting your Shavasana, after that strong flow, by all means, bring your feet down, extend them, and rest in your Shavasana, yeah? But if you are feeling okay or you're pressed for time, keep your knees bent. Roll to your right side if blood pressure is normal to elevated. Left if it's feeling a little low. I'm turning left because that's where my camera is. So turn to the left. Bring your left bicep up and rest, yeah? If you're to the right, you're bringing your right bicep up. And just have a few more breaths here. Then use your top hand to press strongly into the mat. Follow through with your other hand and come into a seated pose. All right. I hope you enjoyed the last pair in our Constellation series, which are the Pisces Tala Flow and the Pisces Full Flow. Once again, we have workshops for some of the trickier poses and trickier alignments as well. If you have any pose that you want us to workshop, give me a comment or give me an email, and I'll respond to you ASAP. And well, I hope you enjoyed this series. There's a whole lot more channels to explore if you started with the Constellation series. And enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the website. And I'll see you soon. Bye!